Bill, can you foresee any scenario in which Mac Jones is 100% healthy and Bailey remains the starter this season?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into a lot of hypotheticals on all different things that might or might not happen and all that. That's just, to me, a waste of time. I'm not going to sit around here and dream up, scenarios and all that. We'll take things as they come and go from there.
That was a telling comment from Bill Belichick earlier this week on the Greg Hill Show, WEEI, Chris's favorite Boston area radio station. Because you're not dreaming up scenarios or hypotheticals. It's a very simple question, Bill. Your starter is injured. Your backup is playing well. When your starter is healthy, is your starter still the starter? This isn't 5 layers and levels of innuendo and speculation and if this, then this, then this float chart. This is very simple. Is Mac Jones still the starter when he's healthy? That's the question. And the fact that he didn't answer it, Chris, oh boy, could you imagine him saying something like that if Tom Brady had been injured? Hell, even when Cam Newton was there, up until the moment they cut him, he's the starter, he's the starter, he's the starter. So something weird going on with the New England Patriots if Bill Belichick isn't willing to say Mac Jones is the guy when he's healthy.
Well, I'm not going to read too deep into it. Bill's not a guy that wants to get into that a whole lot regardless. He doesn't. I wouldn't be shocked, though, the fact that he didn't squash it, that he likes this a little bit to light a fire under Mac Jones's ass a little bit. I mean, Mac was not playing great football before he got hurt. I think that's the one of the things that we could certainly talk about. I mean, he was careless, certainly. The Ravens game, they had a chance to win the football game, and it was his interceptions that cost them. So I think when you look at that, he, I believe, had one bad interception against the Steelers that made the game a little closer than it should have been. So between that aspect right there, and this is New England where we know, they're into managing the game and playing a certain way, and they don't want turnovers, to where I'm sure that frustrated Mac Jones or Bill Belichick on Mac Jones' play. But we're not at the point yet where we're going, wait, maybe they should replace him. The guy took him to the playoffs as a rookie. All right. We know early in the season here, were a work in progress on offense and, showed signs of getting it going against the Ravens defense. Bailey Zappe was good last week again, but it wasn't great. It wasn't to where I go, whoa, we got a competition here. When you watch that game back, he did good. He managed the game. When people are open, he hit it. But he's not a super talent. And then, Mike, also, the aspect of this game is, Dan Campbell was pitiful this game. Dan Campbell and Jared Goff basically were like, here, New England, get back on the winning track here a little bit. We feel bad for you. Dan Campbell, the first drive of the game at midfield against a third-string quarterback, goes for it on a 4th and 1. Literally, he might as well walked over and been like, hey, Bill, I want to get your third stringer in a rhythm.
But the analytics say to go for it. The analytics say to go for it, Chris.
I know.
The chart says to go for it.
So it was good.
The Ivy Leaguer in Dan Campbell's ear said to go for it.
Right.
Doesn't matter that it's a third-string quarterback.
Right,
Doesn't
right.
matter you want to keep him out of a rhythm. It said the chart says to go for it.
So I know. It drives me crazy. Instead of going, wait, let's pin this guy back and make him work under a little pressure here and go down the whole field. So, again, it was good. I'm not trying to take away. You know what I'm trying to say here. I don't think we're at the point yet of, let's bench Mac Jones for Bailey Zappe.
Can we put up that graphic we had of the statistics for Mac Jones and Bailey Zappe just for a moment? Because I have a very important observation. They're the same guy. They look like the same guy. It's amazing to me. And when they're in uniform, it looks like the same human. Wouldn't it be wild if there is some story where they're secretly related and they don't know about it and they're going to find out someday? It is bizarre to me how much they look alike. Okay.
There is something there.
And look, there's also something there. I want to be careful how I frame this because I don't really have this nailed down yet, but I have reason to believe there's something between Mac Jones and the coaching staff, and this is very unpatriotic.
Yeah.
This is not Stepford Patriot. Maybe that's why those two look alike. They came off the same Stepford Patriot assembly line. But I think Mac may be a little disconcerted with the quality of the coaching this year. You go from Josh McDaniels last year to this amalgamation of Joe Judge and Matt Patricia, two guys who weren't offensive coaches before they became head coaches, before they failed as head coaches, and now Matt Patricia calling the plays. I have reason to believe there's some quiet friction there that could boil over at some point. And maybe that's why Bill said what he said. Maybe he's keenly aware that Mac Jones isn't in love with the situation as it relates to how he's being coached this year versus how he was being coached last year.
I can't imagine it's the same. And I'm imagining it is different. I'm imagine he's had moments of going like, when Matt Patricia and Joe Judge are kind of getting it figured out and figuring out how to be an offensive coach, or he was probably like, well, damn, this isn't like last year. This ain't Josh McDaniels, who gave me, the most detailed coaching I've ever seen in my life, and then gave me like 7 little awesome inklings on the play too to look out for with the defense. So I'm sure there's like been some side eye, like, wait, do these guys really know what they're doing? I don't doubt that. I don't. But I can't imagine it being anything where it's distraction. It doesn't seem like it's in the, Mac Jones playbook to be that type of guy there. So we'll see where this goes. We're still watching this. The big thing that Bailey Zappe has had the last 2 weeks is a dominant defense, and they've run the ball like at an unstoppable rate. I mean, the Patriots' running game right now is going where it's like, they're going to run up the middle and pull the guard and smash your face, and they still do it and get 8 yards doing it. And that's been the best thing for Bailey Zappe here. So if they can do that and then couple that with Mac Jones getting back and him playing the way he's capable, I don't count the Patriots out yet. I don't. The Patriots, I still think got something to say here in the AFC race.
Hey, we know how it goes for Bill Belichick post-2011 CBA. The first month of the regular season is basically the preseason.
Right.
It takes them a while to get up and running because he doesn't have access the way that he used to have access to teach his guys everything he needed to teach them. By the time we get into October, they're starting to figure it out. And a shutout, and I don't care about Dan Campbell making dumb decisions. He's made dumb decisions in other games too.
Yeah.
And they were the highest scoring team in the NFL.
Yeah.
To take the highest scoring team through 4 weeks and put goose egg on the scoreboard for 60 minutes is impressive for the Patriots. And you don't need high-end quarterback play if you can play kind of the Steelers situation. This is what the Steelers were supposed to be. Great defense, great running game, and just enough from your passing game, and you're competitive. And the Patriots, I feel far better about them than I do about the Steelers. Also, they're 2-3, but after 1-3 start, you're thinking, where are we here? Well, we're still fine in New England. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.